Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bad Guitars Podcast. My name is Andrew,
And my name is Guy.
and I think we're on episode 45. I think. I don't know.
I would like to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some new stuff that came out this week. Some other stuff that's been kind of, not released yet, but talked about.
Okay.
I got a dog licking my arm right now. So
We
we'll
have a new
introduce- We got a new
dog.
co-host on the show here.
Yep. There's a co-host.
Is Ernesto.
Ernie.
Ernie. Say hi, everybody. So we just well, we haven't adopted him yet. We are fostering him.
We're
But
fostering
he's
Ernesto.
getting along great with the baby, and he's getting along great with the other two dogs. So
And you're in love
yeah, I love
with
him.
Ernesto.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
You are in
He's
love.
a good guy.
We've been going out. Okay, we had this bad habit of buying food now.
Like we'll go get fast
Like
food
sometimes, almost every day, we
not
do.
every day. It's not
We
every
need
day.
to get better though.
Yeah, I know.
We do need to get better.
But yeah, he's been coming in the car rides with us.
But he's becoming on the car rides. He is Andrew's co-pilot, passenger princess. So I think Andrew's in love.
No, I like him. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, you
so we
do.
should get on to some guitar stuff.
Okay.
KHDK,
Okay.
they put out a new pedal.
Are those knobs like translucent or?
Yeah, I don't know. They are transparent knobs. I don't know if they
Okay.
on some pedals they make it to where like the potentiometers light up when you have the pedal on. I don't know if this one does. I haven't heard it in action. I don't really know much about this one.
Okay.
So KHDK, the KH in that is Kirk Hammett of Metallica,
Oh,
and then I think the DK is David Corrin. I think is his name. Oh, he's trying to go over to you.
okay.
All right. He'll probably just end up on the floor.
Most likely.
Anyway, so they started a pedal company a while back. It was probably like 10 years ago or something. So they have a new pedal. It is called the Digital Bath. It is a signature pedal for Chino Moreno of
Who's that?
Deftones.
Oh,
So it says the first 150 Chino signed certificates are sold out. All other pedals will also get a certificate, but it's signed by DK.
Okay.
$250. I don't really know what this thing even is. It's the David Karen, of the company. I said Corin earlier, didn't I? Anyway, this is a quote from DK. He says, "Digital Bath is the most complex pedal we have ever developed. It took us nearly 2 years to get it absolutely perfect. Designed with Chino Moreno and approved down to the last detail, Digital Bath captures his signature blend of dreamlike depth and raw emotion. He tested the pedal live at Deftones' massive set at Coachella, and has been using it on their latest tour. Let's see. Okay, this pedal merges lush filter modulation with analog style delay to create immersive, melancholic textures that pull you in.
Oh.
So filter controls are mix modulate and help shape your movement. Built-in delay has a tape-style echo up to 400 milliseconds. True bypass. Internal tweaks. There is a kill dry signal or control repeats for advanced routing. Not much else. Each pedal is made in the European Union. The first 150 pedals come with that certificate of authenticity. I don't know. It's a great pedal. What are your thoughts on this one? I'm not super excited about it, but
not really.
yeah. I've never been a Deftones fan. I understand.
Ernesto wants to live. I think he
Oh.
didn't like the pedal.
Yeah, I didn't like Ernesto gave it a 0.
It's not a fan.
I don't know. I've just never been a Deftones fan. I don't know. It's not my thing.
I just don't like the knobs.
Yeah.
Unless the knobs light up, then that would be really cool.
Well, even if they do, I've never been
I
a
don't
fan of
know.
that choice of knob.
I don't like those knobs.
All
Not
right.
a fan.
Here's some better knobs you might like. Ooh. Oh, he wants to go down.
Uh-oh.
Are you able to drop him down that side?
Hold on, everybody. You keep talking.
Okay. Catalinbread has a new pedal. They have a new pedal like every week. This is the Ghost version of the Adenico delay pedal.
Okay.
So that's like their oil can style delay. But they've been doing these Ghost versions of a couple of their other pedals, like delays and reverbs and stuff. So now they've done it to this one. It's $209.99.
Okay.
So for $210, you get. It says whether you're already a fan of lo-fi oil can style echo or seeking a new flavor delay to add to your pedal board, this will deliver a fantastic spooky delay experience. Based on the original add-in echo, this new spin on oil can delay adds layers of upper octave modulation via the ghost control. So that's the difference. Is the ghost feature is like a shimmer reverb kind of thing. Is the dog growling?
Yes.
Oh,
Jeez.
it's like he's asleep, but he's growling. Sorry if that got picked up on the microphones. Anyway, so yeah, it seems like they're adding this ghost control to several of their existing pedals, and it's just like it's like a shimmer modulation kind of thing with an octave up. So I like the look of the original. This one right here. All right, well that was weird. Our memory card was full, but it only had a couple things on there. We probably need to switch over to a new one pretty soon.
I guess
Anyway, so you were asking what the difference
yeah, like
is?
what's the difference between the original and the ghost version?
I just
The
explained it.
design?
I just
I
explained it.
didn't understand.
It has an extra control for this ghost feature.
But what is the ghost feature?
I just explained the whole thing.
Why?
I just explained it. It adds a shimmer octave effect to the delay.
I guess let me re-ask the question of
Yeah.
human language.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It has an extra knob that does a different thing than the original.
Okay,
adds
'cause
like a
if you tell
modulation.
me that
It
that's
adds a modulation.
shimmer,
It
like,
adds a
what's that?
modulated sound that is an octave up from the regular delayed signal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes.
We just went
Okay.
the whole thing with you.
I don't know. You were reading. I didn't understand anything you were reading.
Anyway, $210.
Mm.
You know.
Soup water.
But I know a lot of people were big fans of the original version, which I think instead of that control, I think it was like a density knob or something.
I don't know. You know, every time you talk about the old kind of delay,
Yeah.
all I can think of is George's last name or made up name on
Art
Seinfeld.
Vandelay.
Art Vandelay.
Art Vandelay. We actually have a new pedal from Earthquaker Devices this
Ooh,
week.
that looks good.
Yeah, they had some new stuff last week too, didn't they? Or was that the week before?
I don't know, but that one looks good.
Yeah, they're like new utility pedals. So this is the Dirt Transmitter Fuzz Pedal Rancho de la Luna edition.
Okay.
So if you don't know, Rancho de la Luna is a recording studio in Joshua Tree, California. I don't think there's anything sonically different from this from the discontinued Dirt Transmitter, but it's back with new artwork to reflect the art of the studio.
I like it.
Yeah. What are those called? Like sugar skulls? Is what they call those? So your controls are level, fuzz, tone, and bias. And if you don't know what the Dirt Transmitter is, let's see what they say here.
Okay.
Under the hood, everything has made the Dirt Transmitter a favorite. We're on Sweetwater. Favorite among Sweetwater's fuzz pedal aficionados. It's a unique silicon transistor that dishes out old school germanium based distortion. The highly expressive bias control that ranges from scratchy gated sounds to thick wall of sound gain, and versatile tone control with a wide frequency sweep that puts your tone at the forefront of your mix. So it's just a really cool silicon powered fuzz. What makes this one special is to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the studio, Rancho de la Luna. Much to the praise of co-founder Dave Ketching and crew. Okay, so apparently Jamie Stillman was asked to join a recording session to celebrate the 30th anniversary. And so he brought the old Dirt Transmitter out, and they loved it so much that he decided to do a special commemorative version of the pedal. So has the praise of David Ketching, who's the founder of the studio, and it looks like the artwork was created by Ohio-based artist Mike Egan. So, pretty cool. Is the dog attacking the bass drum or something? Let's hope it doesn't pee
He
in here.
was chewing the drums.
Oh, he's chewing on the drums themselves? That's
On
not
the
good.
kick.
That's not good. He could probably really mess that up.
You decided he was going to be a new co-host.
Well, no, I just didn't think he wanted to be out there by himself. Probably crying at the door.
No. Yeah.
Do you think his collar is making too much noise?
I don't know.
Doggy.
Ernie.
Anyway, sorry about that, everybody.
Ernie,
We might have to kick him out of the room.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
this one I don't really know anything about. I think this came out last week. Templo Devices put out the Splice version 2. So the original version, I think you were able to like sum down a guitar input and a mic input down to one output.
Oh.
This one takes it a little bit further. We have a boost control for the guitar input. So it has highs, mids, and lows. You have your overall volume. There is a switch in the middle that lets you choose which side the foot switch controls, either the microphone side or the guitar side. And then the microphone has a little mixer on it as well. It has lows, mids, highs, and overall volume. So it looks like, depending on which side you're on, you mute with a foot switch.
Why did it went down on price so much?
Oh yeah, probably because it's like a new release pricing. So it says original price is 148, but right now it's marked down to 112 for the presale. That's right, it says in production now, but
that makes sense.
At the end of June 2025 is when
they will
start shipping.
Oh my gosh,
that's probably when the price goes back up.
Close
no, we're almost to the end of the month.
Yeah.
So you have guitar and an XLR input. You have guitar and XLR outputs. Cool little utility device for your pedal board. Do you think his collar's being loud? I don't know. I don't know if it's being picked up. If it is, sorry. Whatever.
It's Ernesto.
Yeah. So it's a Splice V2 from Templo.
Okay.
We got a couple things here. There's an amp. There's some speakers. There's some pedals. I think we're only doing one guitar this week.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that from Amazon that you have right there?
Oh, okay. So these, I guess they announced this product at NAMM. But it looks like they're finally in production.
Okay.
They're finally selling them. So there's a new company called Klowra. Klowra.
Klowra?
Now, when I saw these, I was like, oh, these look like the ALABS pedals that they were selling on Amazon. So if you go over to ALABS, they are very similar. But these Klowra ones look like they're definitely better built. So I looked into their story. Yeah.
Okay.
So I looked into their story. They actually branched off from ALABS. I guess there was some kind of split in the company. So part of the team from ALABS went off to found Klowra, and
their design,
the designs, they look better. They look better.
But the design is really similar.
So for ALABS, you have the Cestus reverb.
Okay.
Or Cetus reverb. You have the orbital pitch shifter. You have the Nova Drift. I'm afraid he's going to unplug something down there. The Nova Drift modulation. And the time slip delay. So these all range from $113 to $120.
Okay.
Now, these Klowra ones start at $130, and then the pitch shifter is $150. So I think what they did here is they took the same pedals, improved upon some of the things that maybe customers weren't totally thrilled about, or things that they themselves wanted to do but couldn't do at ALABS. So if you look at the ALABS one, you have a switch here.
Yeah.
For it looks like tap and infinity. That's probably what that says there. I can't tell for sure. But it looks like they all have that kind of same foot switch. Here you have 6 knobs instead. There's no switch.
I happen to notice. The knobs are different too, though. Yeah,
the knobs are different. It looks like a higher quality product. Oh, and it has like the folded metal enclosure. It's not just like a regular pedal enclosure. So this is the Everlast delay. You have 9-volt or USB input. Like I said, stereo in and outs, I think, on all of these. And there's also a control output if you want to like use tap tempo or a expression pedal.
Okay.
So your controls are time, repeat, mix. You have which type you're using. There's like a rotary knob for which type you're using. Texture and tone. The art looks very similar, but it does look better. It looks better. So let's compare the Klowra to the time slip that you have over here. I mean, it looks like the modes are all the same for the most part. It's kind of hard to tell in these pictures. But pretty cool. And the website looks good. And I couldn't find a website for ALABS at all. I can only find them on Amazon. But like Everlast Delay is a stereo pedal featuring 9 high-quality delay types, including classic analog emulations, versatile digital delays, modern inspiring echoes, Powered by a refined algorithmic engine, it offers open parameter control and dynamic modulation for a wide range of creative applications. Equipped with Bloom Infinity Series exclusive ramp function and tap tempo, that was the functionality of these ALABS pedals, was that you can press and hold the foot switch and it has these like really cool, like swells, or what would you call it? Like freeze kind of effects and stuff.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. These look really good.
They do. My only issue is that they look too similar to the other ones, though.
Yeah, but I think once people know about these, they're not going to buy the other ones anymore. I don't know. I mean, if they want to save like $10 or whatever, and these are on Amazon, whereas I think the other ones you could buy multiple places. But it really looks like they're turning into like a real deal here. And, you know, I just noticed too.
What?
It is the same artwork.
Wait.
Like the star is the same.
Yeah, I told you
the star,
too similar.
But there's like dunes with people walking on dunes, and then on the ALABS version, it just looks like it's a space shuttle landing or something over the planet or taking off.
I don't know. It's just way too similar. I guess that's my main issue with that.
Yeah. Buddy, Anyway. So yeah, I think that's a really cool release. I don't know exactly when these came out. I just found out about them, but they look really cool. So again, that was the Everlast Delay,
Ernie,
Limbo Reverb, Sprout Modulation, the Vane Pitch Shifter. So they're all very similar to the originals. It just seems like they improved upon some stuff. So what's next? You want a pedal? You want amps?
We can talk about amps. It's been a long time since we talk about an amp here.
Okay. So Vox put out some new amps. Well, I know for sure they put out one, but there might be multiple in this series. We're just gonna focus on this one today. So they have a new version of the AC4.
Okay.
Which is a 4-watt 1x12-inch tube combo amp. Now I really liked the idea of the original version of this, the original AC4. I think they sell for around $4.99 or $5.99 new. We'll look into that real quick. Since we're already on Sweetwater.
My pray, because I don't see Ernie anywhere.
I see him.
You see him?
He's laying on the ground behind the bass amp. I have a bass amp underneath the desk right here, and he's underneath that. All right, so let's look at the original AC4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $500.
Okay. And the new one is $999.
Well, this is not hand wired, and your controls are gain, bass, treble, and volume, and that's it. You have a single input. On the back panel of the AC4, you have an external speaker extension output, and that's it. Same deal though. 4-watt 1x12 combo. So you go over to the new one, if I can find it. It is hand wired, which I wish they would show it in these photos. I did see a YouTube video where it showed like the circuit board and nicely hand wired and everything. But what makes this 1,000 is one, yes, it is hand wired, but it has more features than the regular version. So you have two inputs on this one. You have the high and low inputs. For your top boost section, you have volume, treble, and bass, just like you would see on a regular Vox amp. But you get reverb. You get real spring reverb on this thing, which the other one had no reverb, which a while back, I was considering buying the AC4 when I was amp shopping, and decided not to do it because it didn't have reverb. And I like my amps to have reverb. Even if I'm using reverb pedals, I still like to have amp reverb. So, you know, that's when I did the series of trades and ended up getting the bass breaker instead. But that was one that I had been looking at because, you know, $500 is pretty affordable for a tube amp. But again, didn't have reverb or anything. And then this also has a master volume control. That's just on the top there. That's just your control section. On the back, it does come with a foot switch. So you have your external speaker output. You have the foot switch input right there, which I imagine that controls the reverb, but we can look into that. You have an effects loop that has +4 or -10 decibels. You have, like I said, send and return for the effects loop, and then there's a bypass switch for it. So you get a lot of extra features on this. Now, I don't usually use effects loops or anything, but it's a really cool feature to have in case you do want it. So it has a hardwired in the vintage Vox tradition, utilizing turret board wiring and top quality components. Custom-made transformers and custom-designed power circuits deliver the highest quality of tone and the most reliable operation possible. Thinner cabinet for easy transport and enhanced harmonic content. Splashy old-school spring reverb circuit imparts space and dimension to your sound.
Okay.
And then the effects loop for crisp, clear integration of your time-based and modulation stop boxes.
Nice.
It comes with a Celestion G12M greenback speaker. Preamp tubes, you get two 12AX7s. Power tube is just one EL84. One thing I don't like about Vox amps is that they only have like the 2-band EQ. But if you dial it in right, it'll sound good. You can use any kind of EQ pedal with it. But let's see. It doesn't show what the weight is. With these smaller amps that are coming out these days, I always wonder what the weight is. Somebody already wrote a review. Wait. We're looking at the right one, right?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm just now learning about these. I wonder when these came out because there's a review from April.
Oh.
Huh. Still, well, it's something to talk about.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. Review from April. I purchased this amp because it offered an effects loop. That is always something I wanted to try with Vox amps other than the AC30. The effects loop is fantastic. The spring reverb is a nice touch. Very surprised by the improved clarity. The harmonics are fantastic. That could be the new output transformer. Whatever it is, this thing sounds amazing. The new circuit design is also nice. It also sounds more old school. I've owned 6 other Vox amps over the years, including the AC4. The difference between this amp and the non-hand wired is pretty significant. The gain on hand wired is very vintage. It's not like the modern gain on non-hardwired amps. Hand wired.
Okay.
I don't know, this guy's just going on about it.
It's a really long review.
Yeah. But he says he thinks it's worth the extra money. He says that like 2 or 3 times throughout this review. Okay. So I don't know exactly when this came out. I mean, if we have reviews from April.
Well,
so at least 2 months ago.
You say it's worth the extra money.
But no, I just learned about this today, so I wanted us to talk about this because I had the Pathfinder 15R.
Yeah.
And that's a solid state amp, but it's around the same exact size as this. It's slightly smaller in size to this. But I really liked that because it had like built-in tremolo, it had reverb. And it sounded very close to an actual Vox tube amp. So it'd be cool. Check one of these out in person or something. But,
okay.
I don't know.
What else do you have?
We don't have a huge amount of stuff today.
Okay. I think that's totally fine.
Let's get to the big one this week.
Didn't we talk about that already?
We have talked about it, but it finally came out this week.
Oh.
So this past Monday, Keeley Electronics finally dropped the Manus Overdrive, which they've been hyping it up for a long time now, for at least 2 or 3 months. They've been talking about
we talked about that already.
They've been talking about it in the Keeley Facebook group a lot, which is where I first learned about it. So initially, this is the whole story behind it, Robert ended up doing like a live stream on the JHS show.
Okay.
Where they sat there for like, I don't know, an hour or 2, just going on and on about different Klon stuff and different components in the circuits and stuff. And apparently they had been working on a tube Klon, do you remember that when it was months ago when he had posted a photo of some pedals? It was April. It was April
Wait,
Fool's.
you're asking me if I remember?
Yeah, because we talked about it on the show.
Dude, I don't even remember what I have for breakfast.
So around April 1st.
I don't know.
Around April 1st.
Okay.
Actually, I think it might have been on April 1st. Robert Keeley posted a photo or a video of him jamming. And there was 4 or 5 pedals on the floor in front of him that were not currently existing pedals yet, as far as their lineup.
Okay.
And one of them ended up, I believe, being the Manus. Or this might have been before the Manus existed. but he had like a 2-powered pedal that was gray, just plain gray enclosure. There's a tube on it. And then he had a couple other things that I think have come out since then. But apparently they'd been working on the Tube Centaur clone. And then Trey Anastasio of the band Fish, his guitar tech, reached out and said, hey, he needs some kind of like clone style thing for an acoustic rig. So they slapped this together pretty quick. Instead of being the 2-powered one, they wanted one that was just, transistor and diode based. So it's germanium transistors, germanium diodes. You can switch between the two if you're clipping.
Nice.
So they sent Trey Anastasio out 2 of these, started putting up pictures of the Manus in the group. People started going crazy over this. They built up all this hype over it over the last couple months. And finally came out the other day, this past Monday. So according to the website, it says evolution of the legendary transparent overdrive, new old stock germanium transistors and diodes for rich saturation. Bass plus switch adds low-end punch of plus 3 decibels. Germanium trans switch enhances tube-like compression. Selectable true bypass or buffered silent switching.
Nice.
18-volt ready for massive headroom, so you can actually power this with 18 volts, I guess. Handcrafted in the USA, like all their pedals are. Current batches begin shipping on or before 6/19/2025.
Well, it's
so
6/21.
That's 6/21 is the day of us recording this. I know a lot of people that put their orders in initially got theirs like right away.
Oh, nice.
I thought I was seeing there are 3 colors available. If you're buying directly from, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
No. If you buy directly from the Keeley website, there's the brushed silver, which I believe is like the regular version, with red text, black knobs. You can get the black version, which I believe is like the Fish version. So it's black with red knobs. And then if you go over to the Guitar Center website.
Oh. Do they have different options at Guitar Center?
I think it was a Guitar Center exclusive. I could be wrong. Look it up. I should have had this already loaded up. Musician's Friend, Music and Arts. I don't know. There's some places that have it other than just Guitar Center. But it looks like that's like a dealer exclusive version. This is the... Oh, where do I get to? The gold version, which I think these are not good photos of it, but the photos I've seen, people that have it, it doesn't look this bright. It's more of like the actual like Klon gold. So $199. I think all 3 versions are the same price.
Yeah.
Where were we?
I already forgot.
Let's see.
Which one is your favorite color?
$199. I don't know.
You don't know
I
which
guess
one you like
the
most?
brushed silver looks good, but where's that gold one again? Like I said, if we can find a better picture of that gold. I've been seeing some people, I've been seeing some people go crazy in the Keeley group, which is cool, whatever. Like it's, I enjoy Keeley pedals and I'm in that group.
Yeah, you do.
But I've already seen some people, some members of the group, they bought all 3 colors.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I really want to find a better photo of the gold version. I think the silver looks good. The black version, I think, looks too similar to other stuff in the lineup that they already have.
Okay.
Like the Andy Timmons pedals that are red knobs and stuff. Why can I not find a better picture? Oh, here you go. It looks good right there. In fact, that's the one I'm going to screenshot because I'll forget to find this later. But I think the gold looks the best. I don't know, personally.
Okay.
Which one do you like?
The black one.
The black one with the red knobs?
I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all look good, but...
I guess so, yeah.
I've been watching the videos on it and stuff, the different demos. I mean, there was at least a dozen videos that dropped in the first day. And as far as like the Klon Centaur style pedal, like I've never cared for those. I've never liked those. But the closest I ever got to like actually buying one is when I got really interested into the Keeley Oxblood. Do you remember that one? The
I
Oxblood.
don't remember that
It
one.
looks more like a Klon Centaur.
Mm.
But the difference with the Oxblood is they took like a much different stance on it, the way they designed it. I believe the Manus is probably a reimagined version of this. I don't know circuit wise what's going on there. And I don't see the Oxblood pop up in a lot of different places. And the couple of demos that are on YouTube, they're like 9 years old. And I just wasn't really impressed with the demos, but I was like, oh, this pedal looks really cool to me though.
Okay.
And that one's also $199. So I got really into like wanting to know more about this pedal, and I think that's why I joined the Keeley group in the first place. Was because
you
like,
wanted to know
I was
about
like,
that
hey,
pedal.
like the YouTube demos, I feel like aren't doing this pedal justice. Can somebody just like, if somebody in the group has this pedal, can you just record a quick clip of you playing some riffs and maybe not just like blues riffs?
And did they?
No.
Mm.
The solution, some people were like, just buy one. Just buy one
Well,
and check it out. It's like, but I don't want to buy something I might not like.
let me feel the neck. Like
Let
the
me-
guy
yeah,
that
let me-
wanted
the
to
guy
buy
that wanted to buy my guitar.
I just need to feel the neck.
We talked about that. What was that, like 2 months ago now? A month
I
ago?
think so.
So if you missed that,
That was so weird.
there was a guy that lived very far away that wanted to buy a guitar I was selling, but he insisted, like, I gotta feel the neck before I make a decision. It's like, I know
He was doing
I know that's an
questions
important-
related to the neck.
I know that's an important consideration when you're making a guitar, but also like you're gonna travel this far to
To not
maybe
buy
not
it, though.
buy it. Like I wouldn't risk it. I would
just a waste of gas.
yeah. All right. So it was the Keeley Oxblood, Keeley Manus.
Manis?
Yeah, they always call it the Manus. Do you think I'm saying mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Because you're like mayonnaise.
Manis?
Manus.
Manis?
Look at the pedal.
Oh! Oh! I thought you were saying manis.
You weren't looking at the pedal this whole time.
No.
You thought this thing was called the mayonnaise. I mean, there is a pedal out there called the mayonnaise, but it's based off the Smashing Pumpkins song.
I like the mayonnaise that you put on a sandwich.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought you were talking about.
That's it.
all this time.
No, there is a pedal called the mayonnaise.
For the people out there, I
Yeah.
have a history of being confused about things. Like, it happens a lot to me.
Here you go. Screddy pedals.
Oh,
which
there's
I'm
one
surprised-
called the
I'm surprised-
Manis,
I'm
yeah.
surprised Screddy is still around. They've been around for a long time.
$413.
Plus, you need to pay a $20 deposit up front, or you can
Oh
pay
my god, my
or you can get a
pills.
10% discount if you put a 50% deposit. Their website looks really
Oh my
old.
gosh.
Oh man.
Plus, it doesn't look really good, the pedal.
I mean, they're all their pedals look like this. The
It
Screddy
looks
pedals.
really simple for being
I mean, they're
413.
very. This is like early 2000s
Mm.
boutique. That's what they look like. I didn't know they were still around. I mean, the website's still active. So, anyway, so that was the mayonnaise. Cornerstone.
Oh.
You're still caught up on the mayonnaise thing, aren't you?
No, it's like it just came to my mind that time that we went in a car ride. I think we're going to the pharmacy, weren't we?
I don't remember.
When there was a trailer. A trailer. No.
Oh yeah,
what
no, it was
What
like a
was
big. It was like a flatbed trailer that was parked. There was no truck attached to it. Yeah,
And I confused that with a car.
we were coming closer. It was nighttime, and we're
It
coming
was
close
night.
up on it, and it was parked on the side of the road. And you're like, "That's a really weird looking car. Look at that car." And then like I started to believe you too because I look over. I'm like, "Yeah, it does look weird for a car." But then like once the headlights like flashed on it, it was a flatbed trailer.
That's how I feel right now with the Manis.
Um,
Anyway,
So
What else do you
Cornerstone
have?
has released the Imperium version 2.
okay.
Independently dynamic, ferocious when stacked, with 4 in and
Hmm.
out jacks for full routing control, a versatile tone shaping section, and intuitive controls for clean color presence and comp.
Okay.
It's a 2-in-1 overdrive.
Looks nice though.
It does look really nice.
Does it have like an enclosure on top of the enclosure, or what is that?
I think it's a faceplate. It's like a faceplate
Oh.
mounted under the knobs.
Mm.
I'm just trying to get a clear shot of what these controls look like. So I'm not familiar with the Imperium. I don't remember what the version 1 looks like. Okay, so it combines their antique overdrive and the Gladio overdrive. This is a really nice looking pedal.
What is that thing on the knobs?
It's their
Like,
logo.
what is that image?
It's their logo.
Oh.
It's like 2 hammers.
Okay.
So the Gladio side has a clean knob, volume, and gain. There's a mini pot for tone. There's a compression switch.
Okay.
On the left side, the antique mode, you have presence, volume, gain, and tone, and a comp switch. And then you have an order selector of which one goes first. And then, yeah, you have routing options for, you have in and out jacks for both sides. So I don't know if you have to route one side into the other side, because then you're using an unnecessary cable. I'm assuming if you just run the input of one and then the output of the other side, that it'll get you, your full circuit. But yeah, it's cool because you could put pedals in between. You could like run something after the Gladio into, let's say, a fuzz, and then run that fuzz back into the other side of the pedal.
And how much is it?
That I didn't see. $364.
Do you think it's worth the $364?
Honestly, probably.
Okay.
I recently got the Mythos Herculean Deluxe, and that was $299. And
do you think it was worth it?
Had less features.
How do you feel?
The Herculean Deluxe, I'm still going to do a video. I know I said last week I was going to do the video. I did some shorts that I haven't posted yet. I'm still got to finish editing those. And then this week is most likely when I'm actually going to do like the full sit down with the pedal and everything.
Okay.
And I talked about this last week, I think, on the show, but I'm not going to do what a lot of, almost 99%, if not 100% of the demos that exist for it are people just doing blues riffs and that kind of like roots rock kind of stuff. I'm going to use it the way that I would play. So I'm not going to use it to play those genres of music.
Okay.
I would say, though, I think it's a great sounding pedal. I don't like the way it stacks with like a fuzz, either before or after it. It just doesn't seems like the filtering of the pedal really affects the tone of whatever's running before or after it. Like if I have a fuzz before it, it kind of completely kills the dynamics of the fuzz. Running before the fuzz, it filters the tone so much before it hits that fuzz that it also kind of kills the dynamics of the fuzz, but in a different way. So I would say it really muffles the tone in a way that maybe I wasn't looking for.
Oh. So how are you going to sell it?
I don't know. So the left and right side, I bought it for the right side, which is like the Blues Breaker side, which is their Runestone overdrive. Because I really like Blues Breaker style overdrives, and that's what I bought it for. So I'm a little disappointed in that side of the pedal. I really do like the left side, which is their Herculean side, which is supposed to be like a Dumble in a box thing, but it's more like it's like a clone of a Zen Drive, but modified. Which Zen Drive is supposed to be like a Dumble kind of thing too. But overall, it's like a really nice, much improved upon Tube Screamer style pedal. Overall, I mean, that's like how you can classify it, even though the circuit's not the same. I do like the left side a lot better than the right side, which sucks because I bought it for the right side.
Oh no!
But I mean, both together sound really good, and for the genres that I think it was intended for, it sounds really good.
So do you think people is gonna get upset if you upload a video on your own genre and on the one that it was supposed to be for?
No, because the video is gonna be more or less. It's gonna be about the pedal, but it's not gonna be a demo of the pedal. It's gonna be, obviously, I'm gonna be demoing the pedal in it, but it's not necessarily a demo video. It's gonna be me talking about how a lot of people have misconceptions about certain types of drives. So, you hear Blues Breaker, somebody might be like, I'm not going to touch it. You hear Klon style pedal, or you hear,
Okay.
Like in this particular one, it has like the Dumble style thing. So people are like, that's for like blues lawyers. I play, garage rock, or I play punk, or I play,
that makes sense.
I play this alternative rock. Like, why would I touch something that's Dumble sounding? It's like you get these thoughts in your head where it steers you away from certain types of drives before you even try them. And then, you work outside the box. Like, you can use any kind of pedal for any kind of sound. But more often than not, you'll see that kind of pedal on a blues guy's board. Which it works great for those sounds, but like, I think that's kind of where I'm going to go with the video, is that you can definitely do a lot of different genres with certain pedals, and maybe certain pedals you can't. But that's kind of where I'm going to go with that, I think.
Okay.
But again, it's gonna be a demonstration of the video of the pedal, but not straightforward like that.
As long as you feel comfortable.
Yeah, but then I don't know if I'm actually gonna want to keep it or not. I don't know, unfortunately, because I really hyped this pedal up in my own head for a long time,
and
for like
really
a year.
I do like their brand,
and I do like their brand. I like their pedals, and I'm not saying it's a
No.
bad pedal by any means. It's designed and built a certain way, huh?
It's just might know like what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's designed and built a certain way, and I think there's an intended demographic behind it, possibly.
Okay.
But I don't know. Do you see this movement going on the toolbar up here? Is that
I know.
normal? Is that normal?
No, it's
Huh.
like a video playing on the button.
Oh, it probably is something playing up here. No, I don't know.
How weird is that?
So we did the Klowra pedals. Here you go.
Okay.
Ernie Ball Sterling has a couple new signature. Oh, one new signature model, but it's in 2 colors.
What is that color?
Which one? The red?
Rule of thumb red?
Rule of thumb red.
Red.
And then you have
It looks orange.
a monoboat blue. I would go with the red over the blue. The blue is kind of like a sparkle.
I don't like that red though.
So this is the Fluff Signature Sterling by Music Man. He did previously have a regular Music Man signature, but Sterling, for those that don't know, it's like their more affordable brand.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, we're just having all sorts of issues today.
Is that kind of
We got
episode?
dogs making noise. We got babies waking up in the middle of the night. So we're talking about the Sterling by Music Man Fluff Signature model.
And I was saying that's not red.
Yeah, it looks more. It's like a coral color. At least on the website, it doesn't
like
look
a
red.
pinkish.
Yeah, I'd call that like coral.
Something like that.
So Fluff brings a signature style to the Artist Series Stingray, a no-nonsense rock machine built to perform. Its classic offset double cutaway body pairs with a roasted maple neck, hardtail bridge, and locking tuners for rock-solid stability.
Huh.
It's got a Seymour Duncan pickup. Oh, both Seymour Duncan pickups. With a JB Junior at the neck and a JB Trembucker at the bridge.
Okay.
A single volume knob and pickup toggle switch keeps things simple so you can dial in, sound fast, get to playing. True to Fluff, where am I? Oh, the Stingray comes set up in drop C sharp with a fresh set of Ernie Ball beefy slinkies. So, right out of the box, this is not going to be set up to standard E tuning. You're going to have that low pitch drop C sharp, which makes sense, given his playing style and everything. Yeah, the blue I'm not a fan of. Blue with the black pickguard.
I don't know. I don't like any of the 2 colors though.
I don't know. I don't mind this one. $879.99.
I don't know.
So I don't know what his original Music Man model cost. I think they only made that for a short time too.
I'm not a fan of the colors though.
Yeah. But it's cool. Cool to see he has signature models out there.
Yeah.
Last one of the day.
What is that?
I've been seeing stuff about this, but I haven't actually watched any of the videos yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to say what I think it is, and then we're going to read about what it actually is.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so there's a new Celestion speaker. It is the Peacekeeper 50-watt, 8-ohm, 12-inch guitar amp speaker. I don't know if they have different ones for different ratings, different, wattages and stuff. Different ohms.
Okay.
But from what I think this is
are you just basing your answer on the picture?
I've seen YouTube thumbnails and a couple things. I think that pedal show might have done it. I think it's a speaker that limits your volume to a certain, like it's an attenuated speaker. But let's find out. Guitar players from all walks of life understand the challenges presented with cranking our favorite amps to achieve complete tonal bliss, namely the issue of intense volume levels that come with the all-on 11 philosophy. Celestion has answered the call with a Peacekeeper, a low wattage attenuating speaker designed, I was right, with amp purists in mind. Okay. Unlike traditional attenuation with a separate load box, the Peacekeeper's proprietary dual voice coil works directly with your amp to produce the warmth and authority you crave from a traditional speaker, while the reduced input sensitivity drops the overall volume without altering the character of your amp. The result is achieving your amp's high volume sweet spot at a more manageable volume level. Not only do Sweetwater guitar players and their families enjoy the new decibel freedom, but also note the Peacekeeper's added utility as a great speaker for their studios, able to capture the perfect take with lower volume and keep their amp settings intact. Offers you cranked amp tone in your dreams without the inevitable visit from your local authorities. Yeah, 12-inch direct replacement guitar amp speaker, dual voice coils, higher levels of tube amp breakup. Sorry, I'm just reading like the spec sheet real quick. There's already a review. Didn't this thing just come out? This thing says it actually does the job. I love amps with only one volume control, but I also primarily play in a home studio setting. I've tried many different attenuators over the years. I've settled on having to use different modelers most of the time while my kids are sleeping. I was really interested in the speaker, given that it's much cheaper than most high-end attenuators on the market. I was also really skeptical.
What?
Skeptical.
Huh?
Skeptical. You can add that to your list of made-up words. I was skeptical about how much it actually attenuates. I am very happy to say that the speaker attenuates at a significant amount. With my smaller wattage amp, this would never hold its own in a band setting with a drum kit. But if you're wanting to crank something like a Princeton or a deluxe reverb... Sorry.
Are you gonna keep reading? I'm feeling skeptical right now.
Skeptical.
Skeptical right now.
So you can put this in a Princeton or deluxe reverb in your house to practice or even record. This is generally quiet enough that you could do it and not wake up your family if you're not sharing a wall with them. The tonal aspect of it I wasn't worried about. It's a Celestion. It says G12, so you can't go wrong there. I just love having the ability to use this in my house without the hassle of expensive attenuators. How quiet can this really get? Like, can this blow up your amp? That would be my worry. Like, it has to accept the load from the amp so you don't blow it up. But
I can know.
Why?
I can know. You've been doing such a weird shit today.
So I have a 5-watt single knob amp and I use it in my living room. So this is not going to be the case for everybody because this thing is rated for like maximum 50 watts. This guy's already using only a 5-watt amp. So like, of course it's going to attenuate that down to like nothing.
Okay.
But if you're using a 50-watt amp, like what's that going to do? Now my main amp right now is 15 watts. And even with it cranked up, I've never cranked it all the way up as far as volume, but like I can crank the gain all the way up and have the volume kind of set where I want it. I'm recording YouTube videos and stuff in this room at like 9, 10 o'clock at night. The neighbors have never complained.
I don't think so.
Which, pointing this way where the camera is, on the other side of this wall, there's like the little pathway, not even a path, what is it? It's like rocks in between the two houses.
Yeah.
And then they have like their gate on that side of their house. The gate to their backyard. But then it's their garage is the closest wall to like on the other side of this. So it never bothers them anyway. And then our son could be asleep, but he's on the other side of the house. So there's a whole house in between here and there. And yeah, you're usually in the living room like doing like the treadmill or the exercise bike while I'm doing the videos. I can't hear you out there. And you can't hear me in here recording. So I don't really need something like this product, but I could see why most people in most settings would, especially if you're in like an apartment or you're trying to like play late at night, you have kids sleeping, or if your neighbors are just, not a big fan of you. So how much was this? $250. So, you know, yeah, an attenuator can run you up like $1,000, even more. Amp replacement speakers are not returnable. Well, I guess that makes sense. Once you install it in the amp, too big of a liability to take it back, and then might be damaged. Anyway, I think that was all we had today. Let's go back through real quick.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Do you remember today when we went to buy Mexican food and we were in the drive-thru?
Okay, yeah, we were in the drive-thru, and you usually get on the weekends they have menudo, but I always forget if it's menudo or pozole.
They don't even sell pozole.
But you know what? Some drive-through Mexican places do both.
I don't know where.
Some places do both on the weekend, or one or the other.
Okay.
So you wanted menudo, and I asked you to confirm which one it was. You said no, it's not pozole, it's menudo. And then I get to the window, and then I get to the window, and they're like, or not the window, the little speaker, and they're like, "Can I get you? Order when you're ready." And I said, "Let me get the pozole." And then you were like in the back seat. You were in the back seat with the baby, and you're like, "No, no, no." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, wrong restaurant. Let's just do the menudo."
Why did you say wrong restaurant?
Because I don't know.
Dude, we had
I started to
never
panic.
ordered pozole anywhere.
But you know,
never.
some places, and we've talked about this. We've talked about this in previous episodes. And if you're not on this side of the country, you might not be familiar.
True.
I know these are mostly in Arizona and California.
True.
The Berto's restaurants. They are not associated with each other. They are different chains of restaurants. Some are just single mom and pop shops. But here in Arizona, we have like Filiberto's, Julio Berto's, Really Berto's,
there's also
Harry
Berto's.
Berto's. Yeah, there's Poli Berto's. There's a bunch of different ones, but they all have almost identical menus. But some of them, and I think it's Julio Berto's, has pozole and menudo.
Dude, I had never seen the pozole.
But we're at Filiberto's, and I don't know why. I just forget which one is which. So I misspoke. So that was our excitement from the day.
So it doesn't another restaurant.
You know, what was your favorite release of the week?
I cannot even remember half the releases we're talking about. The mayonnaise.
The mayonnaise?
The mayonnaise. That one, I like it. I actually like that one, though.
You do?
But curious enough, I only like the black and red one.
The black and red? Let me go back to it. Look at it one more time.
That's the only one that I like. I don't know.
You know, though, like, I think this is a really good sounding pedal. It's not, like, I've never really wanted a Klon Centaur style pedal. I still don't know if I ever will, but this is probably the closest I would get. I like the gray. I like the gold. The black is okay. I got nothing on the black.
I like black.
I just think it looks too similar to other pedals they've already made with that, with the colorway.
I don't know.
You know, I saw earlier today though.
What?
We've been talking about this. We talked about this last week when Squire, or maybe it was the week before, when Squire put out some new Esquire guitar.
Yeah.
Or they put out the new Classic Vibes. And we're talking about the Esquires.
Yes.
I Googled them earlier. Okay. Because I wanted to see what the colors were again. But then I noticed there is a different version that is a Chicago Music exclusive in Dakota Red.
Wait, that one is
and that's cheaper
than the others.
Yeah.
You want one?
Yeah.
Well, didn't you sell a pedal today?
Yeah, I don't have the money from it yet, though. It takes a few days to clear reverb. But it's weird
really
because I click on it, it says $4.50. Oh, $100 off in cart. So yeah, $3.59. I think that's a nice looking red. I don't like red guitars, but I think on this particular one, does it have the binding? Nice. It does have the binding. I think that makes it look kind of cool.
That really looks
like
really
it's
nice.
Not like a bright red. It's like a vintage style red, especially with that pick guard is like an off white. I think it's pretty cool.
It gives me like a Christmas vibe.
Christmas?
With the red.
I guess so. Versus like the new version, because this might not be the same model. That's a 60s Esquire. This one is possibly a 50s. It doesn't even say what model this one is.
No.
So the new one doesn't have a decade assigned to it. Usually all the classic vibes, have a decade. I don't like the candy apple red. I think that's too red.
But get back to the others.
Well, here's the other one.
What's that color?
This is Sherwood green. I like the Sherwood green.
I actually do like the Sherwood green.
Although it does look like it might have a slight sparkle to it. I can't tell.
I don't know. I kind of like the Sherwood green though.
I do like the Sherwood. I don't mind the Dakota red, especially because it's $100 less.
Well, based on price, yeah, I will go for the red one. But
yeah.
I like the green one.
I think they all look good. All three of them.
Okay.
I don't know. But there's other ones available too. They've done the Esquire before. Like there's another one from Chicago Music Exchange that's a butterscotch blonde. I'm not really a fan of that one. That one's $450. So yeah, these are different models because that's a 50s Esquire. The Dakota Red is a 60s, and then these ones, like I said, they don't have a decade assigned to them.
I don't know.
Anyway, I guess that's it for the night. All the usual stuff. If you like the episode, please like and subscribe. Help us grow the channel a little bit. We're about to finally hit 400 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Taking a while, but we're doing it.
We get a mix of YouTube and then like the other like podcast streaming platforms. Yeah. It's not like this is our only outlet for the podcast. We are available all these different other platforms. And to be honest, I don't usually monitor how we're doing over there. I don't think it's quite as big as the YouTube following per outlet, like whatever you want to call it, per streaming platform, because we're on Amazon, we're on Apple. What else are we on? Spotify. So I think the listeners on the audio are kind of split up, but kind of equal the same as what we're getting over here on YouTube. I mean, obviously we want to grow the YouTube because we do like other videos on here. But true. And I like it personally too, to like be able to watch the people when they're talking. Yeah. I don't know. So I don't know. If you want to follow us on those ones too, it'll help us grow a little bit. But I think YouTube is kind of our main focus right now. And just leave us a comment down below. Tell us what your favorite release of the week was, or what you're looking forward to. And we do apologize on behalf of Ernesto. Yeah, we're sorry if the dog was making a little too much noise. Let us know also in the comments if you could hear his collar jangling around too much. Probably. A really bad co-host. He's asleep under the desk, so. Of course, he caused damage and then he went to sleep. Yeah. Sorry about that. But I think that's just about it. Okay. Anything else? No. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week. Bye.